Hello, hello. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Things are coming together well, it seems. All right. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to the first. We got a couple of newcomers sneaking in on Twitch. Welcome. Missed the last few streams? Hey, it's no worries. That's why we do the recaps, right? It is no worries. Oh my gosh, a couple people sneaking. We got more people sneaking over to Twitch. I usually watch on YouTube. Oh my gosh, YouTube, I'm watching your chat too. How do you feel about this? Don't worry, we're not starting any fights. I hope. We'll load up the game here just right now. We'll just do it right now. We'll just get this going, get it moving into things. All right, perfect. Oh my gosh, not so perfect. Hang on a second. You fit to the screen there, you cheeky game. All right, all is well and fine and dandy. Oh, I'm wearing my sunglasses. Why in the world would I do such a thing? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for the official ROCKFISH Games stream, where all things for Everspace 2 related are happening. I'm your host and your guide through this process. My name is Eric Schrader. I am your community ambassador. I'm your servant. I'm your guide through all things Everspace 2. Today, I've already got a couple people already asking what's on the docket for today. Well, let me tell you what. Not only is it in the title of the video, but we are going to be covering the I should look at the title of the video. Oh my gosh. So we're covering just a couple of things today. Hot swapping armor. It's a big one because this has been locked for, I mean, shoot, I think since the prototype itself. And I wanted to talk to you guys about why that's been locked and the method that we have chosen to override that. So it's no longer going to be plaguing you. We want Everspace 2 to be an accessible looter shooter. So when you find loot that you want, you can put it on immediately. Now, there are some caveats that come with that, hence why we'll have a discussion about hot swapping when that time comes. The next thing is a couple of new sound effects, namely the autocannon is what I'll be showing today. There may be more, but I wasn't notified on what those would potentially be, so we might just throw on random weapons and see if there's new ones. We'd find out together, but I do know the autocannon's been updated, so we'll at least be covering that one. And then last but not least, I also wanted to cover some of those secondary modifiers again with you guys, because when I showed them last week, they were hot off the press. I'm talking like ideas went down, Hans Christian was like, okay, implemented, and then we were testing just to see how it felt. So you guys got that first slice of seeing what it looks like with these wild mods. If you don't even know what mods I'm talking about, don't worry, we'll be covering what they looked like and the adjustments that we've made. And also we'll probably talk about a couple more adjustments. Anyway, that's what we're covering. Oh, and then also because you guys wanted me for some dumb reason, I will be beatboxing at the end of the stream for your enjoyment, whatever that looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and pop into the game. Let's pop in and start talking about some content. What's 07? I see, yeah, it's basically a salute. Welcome, everybody. Twitch needs to drink less coffee. I see, all right, okay. Oh my gosh. Finally get a chance to be here for a stream live. How are you doing? Oh, Original Lord Drow. Oh my goodness. Welcome. Okay, so that looks like I've got bias towards certain individuals walking the stream. Folks, just let me tell you what, some individuals that I've run into on these streams, I've actually either met in real life or I've engaged with online in other places or spaces. So sometimes I might get really excited. It's kind of like meeting a friend, you know, that you haven't seen in a while. But it's really good to see all of you, honestly. Every one of you who's taken time and space out of your day to be here, to see what we have to offer, to ask questions. Thank you for being here, truly. It is my pleasure, and I hope that you guys have a fun time here, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. All right. So, we're not picking up where we left off. I had to do some cheeky little adjustments, but I do like my neon gunship here. I kind of like the way that this has come together. We will be flying the gunship at least for the beginning of the stream, and I mean, shoot, let's just crack into some of the stuff we want to talk about. So the very first thing, there's a very, very, very minor difference on this screen. Very minor difference. So it's like itty bitty. And I know that there's gonna be someone out there who's like, yep, I see it. I know exactly what he's talking about. Oh my goodness. The metallic jade green. Yeah, I'm hoping that you guys will like the style that I'm flying. All right, so basically it's the plating. So there's no longer like this percentage thing going on. You might be wondering, well, what does that mean? There's no percentage, I don't have to repair my armor anymore? Is that what? No, that's not what it means at all. What it means is that armor is now bound to your ship, and the plating adjusts how armor is affected. So think of it like this. Let's see if I can I repair? No, I can't. I'm already fully repaired. You know what? Hang on, I'm gonna damage my armor and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a good skilled driver. Excellent. All right, so now, let's talk about this. Armor hot swapping. We still don't have this percentage thing going on like we used to, but you can see straight up your armor is damaged, right? So what happens if we swap other armor in? Nothing happens here because the percentage of that armor doesn't change. Your armor is just now down to that certain percentage. How much is left depends on what armor you have. So if you have really crappy armor and you hot swap to really good armor, you don't automatically gain all of your armor back, but what you do is you pick up where you left off from that percentile location and gain the benefits of the new effects of the new armor. So you can't cheese the heck out of the game and be like, oh, my armor's done, so I'm gonna go to my inventory, swap on a new one, boom, got full armor again. Can't do that, but you do get the benefits of the different armor. Make sense? I hope it does, because that's what we have chosen to do. In addition to that, now when you repair, I'm pretty sure this was separated. I don't think this was the same before, but we've separated this out. So I don't think that this amount is final, otherwise that's super cheap, but repairing your hull and repairing your armor have now been separated as they're each their own sort of entities. And you affect those entities through your plating and also other modifiers, right? So that's what this all looks like. Very simple. Should have been implemented sooner, probably, some people will admit. But there's been a lot of priorities, and we're happy that we're able to adjust this finally so that you'll have more opportunities of finding stuff and plugging it in to see how it operates. Since at its core, this is a looter shooter, we want you to get the loot and we want you to, you know, plug it in, try it out. So, no longer locked, you can plop it in and it picks up right where your armor percentage is. All right? What about armor repair from skill? So basically, if you repair your armor up a little bit, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna hot swap armor. You swap to a different armor and it's gonna pick up where you had repaired up that last armor. So it's still gonna be applicable to whatever percentage your armor is at, right? So if you like heal a little bit and you get up to here, then you hot swap your armor, you start there again, okay? Because again, the plating isn't your armor. The ship has its own armor, and the plating is what modifies what the armor does and how much there is. Even if previous armor is dead, so if your armor is completely gone and you hot swap to new armor, the new armor, yeah, it would start at 0%. Yeah, it would start at 0%. So if you hot swap, or like your armor gets completely depleted and you're like, I'm gonna cycle to a different armor, it's also gonna be completely depleted. Yes, that is entirely the point, so that we specifically don't have players exploit the plating. Because otherwise, the whole reason why we had it locked in the first place was because you could just take off armor plating, put on a new one, and have max armor again. So you can have an entire cargo of nothing but armor and effectively never die. You just like keep cycling out whenever you lose all your armor. We didn't want that. Absolutely not want that. So if this was completely drained and I cycled to a different armor, it would also be completely drained. But as you can see, all the stats, all of the abilities, all of the everything else that's provided there is going to help that cause instantaneously. So there was also a little brief conversation in the Discord regarding weapons and hot swapping weapons, because when you do that right now, the energy is completely maxed out, so you can effectively hold like 5 or 6 different weapons, or in the case of what some individuals are currently doing, they have a mining weapon in their cargo, and then whenever they get to a mining point, they hot swap it in, they use it, and then they hot swap it out so that they have their better attacking gear to utilize instantaneously. There's no pain to hot swapping that right now. But I can assure you guys that just like we adjusted secondaries, just like we adjusted consumables, we are looking at and evaluating the state of hot swapping across the board. Again, remember, we do want to keep it to where you can explore your options, to experiment with what does what. At the same time, if you want that fast, very quick change, go to a station, plug things in, no problem, no repercussions. Like even as I'm at this base right now, if we swap this guy, there's no 20-second delay. It's instantaneous, right? Because we're at a base. If you're flying and you hot swap, there's a 20-second delay to use secondaries, there's a 20-second delay to use consumables. So, without getting into the nitty-gritty of what we're gonna do for weapons, let's keep playing. All right, cool. So, let's talk about some adjustments on the front of the secondaries, because we did talk about these modifiers, and yeah, there were a couple changes there. So let's go ahead and find ourselves. I think we have a high risk location. No, we don't. Let's make a high risk location. Yeah, let's just activate a couple. We'll go to a high risk location, and we'll start talking about these secondaries, and also you can listen to the autocannon update as well. So many things already. So what happens if you unequip plating totally? Do you have some base armor now or what? Great question. What happens is it goes to 0. It removes this armor entirely, but when you plug it back in, it resumes where your armor was previously at. So basically this is a number that's bound permanently to your armor status. And if you remove plating, your armor status says, hey, I'm gonna set out for now. It retains that data. It doesn't change. It retains that data where it last was, and it waits for you to either plug in new armor, right? To gain it back where it was previously at, and do what it needs to do from that front, okay? The last point to note is that, because it's a hidden stat, right? Like it's a permanently bound armor stat to your ship. The only way to repair this, the only 2 ways to repair at this point in time are basically getting kills, which is the repair per kill feature of plating, or by repairing from a station. That's basically it. Probably more modifiers in the future. All right. High risk location. Woo! I needed to talk about this real quick. So with this gunship build, I also wanted to talk about what I'm running today, because it's a little bit more obscure than most builds probably are. So this build, we kind of want to get hit a lot. So We're running exit strategy, which reduces damage we take by 25%. We're running percussive maintenance? What? Who runs percussive maintenance? I am, and I want to show you why. This thing is probably going to get a lot of use out of our incredibly high hull points. So percussive maintenance, for those who don't know what it does because you never use it, its incoming direct hull hits have a 3% chance to reduce a random device cooldown by 30%. So we are going to be able to utilize our devices a bit more in quick succession. At least that's the hope. That is the hope. We're also using Relentless because I love this one, honestly. I'm only using 2 warfare devices, so it's only a 40% increase to weapon energy capacity, but that's still great for the gunship. And then finally, Ulterior Motive is going to be 100% increase ult generation while the shield is depleted, because I don't think we're going to have our shield up very often this time around. All right. I also want to make sure, are we in very hard? Okay, good. Excellent, excellent. All right. So let's just take a little bit of damage to start getting our features working. Because we want to get hit. Oh yeah, here we go.
There will always be more. Always. Yeah. Here comes the Alec.
Oh, hi, Alec.
Shoot at something.
Look at all those mines. Oh my goodness. How about that autocannon, though? We're gaining armor way too fast. Excellent. We have increased the base. Oh man, does that just sound pretty deadly. Also, we are getting a lot of auto webbings because of our secondary modifier. So that's going to, there's gonna be a lot of fun stuff from that because we actually have 17 out of 15. That's a bug. But you can see how much we're auto-generating from auto-firing this thing. All right, here we go. Delicious. We gained our armor back way too fast for percussive maintenance to be in effect. Well, how about that? All right, so we're gonna pick up this equipment. Like so. Excellent. Nice, clear. And you can see, oh, we got damage to our homing missiles. That's unfortunate. But as you could hear, rather, not just as you could see, but autocannon sounds. Yep. Got quite a bit beefier. Ain't messing around. And I also want to point out that our firepower sucks, by the way. Our firepower absolutely is garbage, all right? And was very pleased by doing this structure build for you with resistance. So even though we were taking hull damage, the entire point was to take that hull damage so that we could use that percussive maintenance, right? So yeah, you don't necessarily have to go 100% firepower if you don't want to, even in this current build where there aren't a lot of benefits to having a high structure or resistance piece yet. But yeah, so there's plenty of ways that you can kind of go about this. I was not worried about getting dropped at all because of this number right here. Like this is excessive. This is an excessive amount of health. But yeah, so let's talk about these secondaries. Just kind of recap what you guys maybe have missed from last time and then how we have adjusted some elements this time. So with the secondaries, let's cover from left to right. This one was not changed at all. 20% chance to refund ammo when firing, just straight boon to you all. If you're using the bomber and this triggers, it will give you a little bit of an energy charge. The next one is the lock duration. Previously it was decreased by half. We boosted that up to 80%. It's pretty stinking fast now. It does not take long to get a lock on. If you have the bomber's additional passive that like cuts it in half, it's instantaneous. So if you use the lock duration with the bomber's passive of effectively having the lock duration from there, the lock is instantaneous. Like I'm not joking, like you click on an enemy and then you can start firing. And in the bomber, that's actually really powerful with the right combination. All right, next up, we've got 30% damage for each second the missile flies. We felt this was nice and balanced, so we kept that the way it is. A lot of missiles are gonna get about 6, 7, maybe 8 seconds if you really milk the amount of time they can be out there flying. Marksman's loves this, by the way. Then we also have the last 3 missiles are now doing 200% damage instead of 300. It was a little bit excessive, we admit. We like going big or going home, and so we did have to cut that back. Still, plus 200% damage is rather absurd. So keep in mind that if this was plus 100% damage, that would be double damage, right? So at plus 200% damage, that actually means triple damage. It's doing 3 times as much damage. Before we were having it do 4 times as much damage, which was, all right, so it's only doing 3 times as much damage. That's what plus 200% means. Oh my goodness, percentages are confusing sometimes, I know, but it's doing 3 times as much damage and it's only the last 3 missiles. Then we also have this one, which we had to tweak as well. We also had to tweak this one as well. I know, so the question pertaining to the last ones do a percentile based, how's that work with the Bomber 2? Hasn't been implemented in this build, otherwise I would directly show you. But the plan of attack is to where it ignores how your quantity looks for the missile, okay? So you could have like 2 out of 15 like this and put it on a bomber. The bomber does not gain the bonus until it's the very last missile that it could fire using its energy. So every time it's the very last missile that it can fire from that energy source, it will in fact give you that bonus of 200%. So in actuality, the bomber is giving you this percentile-based damage increase with every single depletion of energy, as opposed to every last 3 missiles. Whew! I'm saying this out loud really fast, but basically it means the bomber can capitalize on this usage on the fly far more often after each depletion, as opposed to only the last 3. Whew! Okay. Drink. All right. Next, thanks for that question, by the way. It's good point of clarity, because we don't want the bomber to exploit that, you know, like we did last stream. All right. Anyway, next one. This one was also getting exploited from our testing. Basically, when doing critical damage, a primary weapon, there's a 30% chance to automatically fire this weapon without consuming ammo. We scaled this one back, just like I told you guys it was gonna get scaled back. It only triggers every 1.5 seconds now. So if you got like this super crazy precision build to maximize the usage of your secondaries, great. This still pairs well with it. Just remember that the bonus missile fired is only once every 1.5 seconds. And if you can get it firing, if you can fire a free missile every 1.5 seconds, let me tell you what, your build is solid. That's nuts if you can get that to happen. But we did have to put a hard cap on it because we were finding ways to make the secondary missile fire way faster than that. And while it's definitely fun, it's impressively exploiting the game system. So we are putting that hard cap there, 1.5 seconds. Delicious. I shall fight crime later. All right. Last but not least, this one didn't change at all. Mines are magnetic and will fly towards enemies in a 500-meter radius. We really like this one. Any of you who like mines and want them to just be more efficient, like this is, I love this. It's such a pleasure having this on mines because they're just so much more effective now. It's effectively increasing their range by an additional 500. They auto lock on and then they affect even more stuff once they get in range. It's great. All right. All of this stuff will be in the next update in the summer. Oh my gosh, the summer, but Eric, that's like so long from now. I know, but hey, I'm showing you guys every single week. I'm showing you the latest addition to the game space of what's coming up. I'm not gonna reveal all the secrets, but this one I felt you guys would like to know, especially since so much focus is on the equipment. You should be knowing about how stuff's getting added to, what stuff's gonna be changed. And we're really thrilled with these additions for the secondaries. We think this is gonna mix up the formula in a very healthy degree, and we're not done. Like, we're not. You guys know that. There's more modifiers coming across the board. And when I say across the board, I mean across the board. Okay. This is a very delicious beverage. I have to thank my wife later. All right. So let's answer a couple questions real briefly since I've been talking a lot and explaining a lot. And then we'll keep using that very sweet, sweet sounding autocannon in our super absurdly healthy build here in our gunship and go from there. I was trying out a scout sniper build and maximizing range, but it feels that a stronger zoom is kind of needed. No, we totally get that, Gabriel. Yeah, no, we've heard that be stated. There may or may not be some improvements to that in the future. But also we wanted to complement that build style even further as well, right? Which I hope is made apparent by this friggin' secondary mod in and of itself. 30% damage for each second the missile flies. Like, this encourages fighting at long range, right? And we want to reward players who like the long range playstyle. So there's more on that front coming. Absolutely, right? So don't worry, your voice is very much heard. All right, let me check and make sure. What's in that cup? It's a mixture of coffee, tastes like cinnamon. There's a little bit of the blood of my enemies, and maybe some hater tears as well. I'm not sure, but it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Let's see what else we got. Earth wine? What about earth wine? Oh, is that the beverage? No. I'm not a big fan of wine, actually. It's just personal preference. Anyway, let's point out some other things pertaining to Everspace 2, because that's why you're here. Does the gunship usually have 4 hard points? Absolutely. The special is called Arsenal, and that's the text behind me reads verbatim, it has 4 hard points. You're welcome. That's what it says directly. Yes. Let's see what else we got. Does the gunship have 4 damage natively? Firepower is not important. Oh, firepower is always important. Firepower is always important for the most part, because if you wanted to do a gunship build where firepower is just absolutely maxed out, you could just face roll over everything. But my particular build here is I just wanted to soak a bunch of damage and then exploit that by survival, which is, I mean, effectively what we did, right? We really haven't taken that much damage whatsoever. Let's see what else we got. Schnackenbauer from Twitch. Hey, so you're asking for a feature in the game, and while I love that, I love this feature that you are asking about regarding catalyst and crafting, so like it takes you back to what you need. We actually do have plans to adjust the crafting design. So basically, let's just jump over here, just talk about this very briefly. In some cases, it can feel kind of annoying when you're trying to craft something and it's like, oh, you need to get the quantum conductor. And so then you're like, okay, well then I have to go find the quantum conductor, right? And then you find the quantum conductor, but oh, say you're missing something and it's like, oh, well you need to go get the something, you know, and it kind of feels like it's a wild goose chase just to get the one thing that you want, right? That is noted. That is something that we will be addressing. So yeah, I just ask for your patience as we implement some new tools to help on that front. Rest assured, we hear you. It's slightly annoying for us as well internally, so yeah, that's why we're gonna adjust it. You guys don't even have to tell us it's annoying, we know. All right. Wild goose chase, I thought that was called player engagement. Whew, yikes. Man, you are burning some developer out there, but sure ain't us, because we disagree. Woo! All right. Let's see. I'm fairly new to the game and never been in this channel. What was adding missiles to your ammo count? Oh, so that affect the webbing mines. Basically, when doing critical damage with the primary weapon, there's a 30% chance. Oh, actually, no, that's the wrong one. 20% chance to refund ammo when firing. 20% chance to refund ammo when firing. And because this one's auto firing, it's firing automatically, and then it's gaining an ammunition. It's auto-firing, then gaining an ammunition. So the reason why I have 16 out of 15 here, which again, this will very likely be patched out, but the reason why I have more than what I'm supposed to have is because it's shooting one for free, and then it's giving me one more ammunition by refunding it. Yeah. And that is it working as intended. We just didn't want it to go over the maximum. So you're not supposed to get over 15 on this one. That's an accident, but whatever. We do like how it procs together. That's very intended. All right. All right, let's see what else we got. Then we'll dive right back into things. I am, just so you guys are aware, I am going back and forth between chats to make sure I'm answering as many as possible. So if it seems like I'm ghosting you, Bearded Frog trying to bounce Finn's question, no, I'm not ghosting anybody. There's none of that shenanigans going on. I'm trying to find the questions that need to be answered. So thank you for your patience as I'm cruising through that. So Finn's asks, is it possible to stack up to 100% collision damage reduction now or in the future builds? And would this mean complete true collision damage immunity? Well, first off, if I answer that question, it would be telling. So I can't really answer that question because you're asking for me to reveal future features. I could say yes, I could say no, I could say maybe, but none of those things really provide clarity to a space that we haven't gotten to yet, right? So all I can say is if you want to design collision styled builds, we absolutely want that to be one direction that players can viably take in the future. So take that as you will. Also, straight up, if you use Energized Boost and you used high pressure, anytime you used Energized Boost, it actually gives you collision damage immunity. I'm surprised it's not listed here, but that is actually one of the effects of this. So if I were to use that, let me just show you as an example. If I were to use this and go straight into this asteroid here, you'll see that I take no damage. Oh man, how embarrassing is it gonna be if I do take damage? Well, that's slightly embarrassing. Maybe we removed that. Hans Christian? Hans Christian, I just look like an idiot on the streams. Can you back me up, please? I swear that was a thing. We had to just remove that. Legitimately was working like last week. But hey, regardless, let me assure you guys that one, I am a professional, and two, we do sincerely, let's be sincere here, very serious mode, we do want to have collision style builds that are very viable in the future, all right? Very viable. All right. So, great question, I suppose. All right. So let's see what else we got. Who is clipping that, by the way? I'm pretty sure we've already got about 7 or 8 people who have clipped it, so no worries. Go ahead and share that around. It's great. Absolutely fantastic. Let's fight this high risk area again. That's great. We reloaded really just to do this again. That was the main point. Woo! All right. So again, this gunship build, it's kind of based on this idea of I don't really mind taking a bunch of damage. Because like, look how much I can take. So I'm gonna try and like not fire my weapons at all. I want to just see what happens. Oh, I am taking a lot of damage though. I really need my I really need stuff to proc. So we're gonna go ahead and use consumables. Yes, yes, no, maybe. Still alive. That's good. And we're doing our little energized boost there to actually, we're webbing them in place. I think we're gonna take out this elite. Woo! That is an awful lot of damage though. All right, we're gonna actually fire now at our opponents. Let's just use the autocannon because it sounds wonderful. Ooh, those mines though. So yeah, it turns out I should be using my weapons. But no big deal. But yeah, so in the current build here, what you're seeing here, I'm attempting to force a more structure resistance heavy build. And as you can see, it's a little wonky right now. And I'm actually kind of glad that it's not working out too much in my favor, to let you guys know that this is something we recognize hasn't actually received a lot of love and support yet. We recognize that. There will actually be modifiers that come into the game later that support a structure and a resistance heavy build style. For now, a lot of what we plugged in, you know, it does kind of promote that sort of glass cannon style of direction to take. And that's okay. We want you guys to have those big meaty weapons, right? That are just like, you got all the daka-dakas and the pew-pews. We want you to have that first and foremost. And from there, that's where we're gonna have a lot of these alternate viable builds in the future with these modifications, set items, etc. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Try a bomber instead of a gunship. Oh man, I mean, there are so many other ways that we could probably try and exploit a structure resistance heavy build. But again, in the current state of the game, as you can see, it's a little rough around the edges. And again, we know more will be added. All right, so this time, even though we have low firepower, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to wipe these guys anyway and utilize the passives in the best way that I can.
He's in range.
There we go. I actually really appreciate Alec coming in to help here. I don't say that very often. And also, this secondary that I'm using now, this secondary is a combination of an auto-firing missile that also gains the 200% extra damage when fired. You can see that actively working because we're down to 2 out of 15 of its missiles. And when you have weapons that have higher proc chances, oh my gosh. Something like an autocannon or a synchro pulse, that's where you get a lot of the auto-firing effects coming from. If you're using a slower fire rate weapon, like a flat cannon, for example, it doesn't really compare very well. Then you generally don't get as much bang for your buck. So it will very much depend on the type of build you're going for and what type of weapons you enjoy. Just got a couple more to go here. Excellent. So many mines. Alec, you just left and there's a destroyer right here, bro. Ah, it's fine. Destroyer's gone. Silly Alec. There we go. All right, so did we get the, yeah, we did, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up the other stuff. Ooh, Camden enzyme, all right. 7 Camden enzymes? Oh my gosh. Pick up all these credits. Then we'll probably go swap our ship, maybe to a bomber, and show you those changes as well. And continue answering questions and stuff like that. Ah, delicious. So we are going back to Prescott. We're gonna swap our ship out. I'm probably gonna change the ship colors back to this gunship. Actually, I really like these colors right now. Are there any death penalties? Not at this time. Nope, there's not any death penalties. Use the nano transmitter with shield and armor healing modifier thing. Actually, that would be really smart to do in this build, wouldn't it? So we constantly get that back and regenerating. Yeah, no, that would be good. We are gonna go ahead and swap ships though. Maybe we'll do that with the bomber. What do you think of Alec? Is he crazy? Is he funny? Is he an idiot? Yes. So let's see what else we've got in your chats. Speaking of the flak cannon, last year I got to try Everspace 2 at a friend's house. The flak felt a bit underwhelming compared to the one from Everspace 1 that I absolutely loved. Did it got any changes since then? Well, we added a set item flak, and it's kind of fun. It gets unique bonuses when it's paired with a set, and so it deals more damage, and also looks pretty nice. It looks almost like a supernova in a way. A very small supernova, very tiny. Very tiny one, like a star is exploding. But other than that, we haven't made any solid changes to any of the weaponry overall through the course of development. There have been little tweaks here and there, but we're pretty happy actually with where the flak is currently at. We could absolutely see more changes and adjustments on that front, and we likely will. But for now, there hasn't been anything tremendous. I do want to point out that I've seen a lot of individuals take the mining catalyst. Let me show you what I'm talking about directly so you know. Where's mining? Where is it? Where is it? I don't have it. Excellent. I don't have it unlocked yet. There's a mining catalyst that you can plug onto an item, and it gives it the ability to gain more minerals from a mining site than normal. And it also increases the rarity of the resources dropped, and then also removes the energy, makes it a lot more energy efficient to use at mining sites. So just really nice quality of life for miners. And on that front, if you stick it on a flak, you can do that instantaneously because of the splash damage. So that's been a very popular trend. Internally, we think that's fine. There might be a couple other additional adjustments in the future regarding that front, but still, it does make your flat cannon basically a dedicated mining weapon. And if that's the route you want to take, that's fine. Especially since we haven't adjusted any hot swapping of primaries at this time. When that does happen, maybe people are gonna think twice about it. I'm not sure, but the flak very much is intended to shoot at mines, shoot at missiles, shoot at drones, and it's not necessarily supposed to be the best capital ship destroyer or even heavy fighter. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and swap out our rockets for these web mines. These rockets are used at range, and they are going to replenish themselves, and they have a strong chance of disabling shields. Unfortunately, we don't have any very large capital ships with shields aside from the Olkar, which we probably don't want to fight at this time. So we're just gonna, oh wait, we're still flying a gunship. We're changing that. We're changing the ship. We're changing out the ship. So let's see what we are swapping out. Sentinel, Interceptor, Vanguard, Striker, Stinger. Oh, you're so cute. Probably isn't the best thing to use with a hull emphasized build like the one we have. Okay, we do have this bomber. Oh, this is the bomber that I actually painted before the beginning of the stream. So it's the exact same one I had beforehand. So let's just swap back to it. We'll just swap back to it. Tiberius asks, what's the hot swap change start with 0 energy for the weapons? We have not concluded what the best result will be for weapons at this time. We did swap ships, by the way. Even though this looks very similar, the wings are different, I can assure you. This is the Cyclops bomber. And from here, let's see, we'll get the mines back. We're gonna use the pulse laser and the autocannon. It's a tried and true method, right? Tried and true method. Let's just swap over to play it safe. And let's do corrosion injector. I use these a lot, but I don't care. That's what I'm going to use. And then we're also going to make sure that we capitalize on that with Relentless for the installed warfare devices, so all the energies forever. And let's see. We're also going to do Unyielding Assault to get armor and remove debuffs whenever we pop our ult as well. All right. And I'm also going to keep my ship style because I like that. I like this. It feels right. Feels good. Okay. So let's head to our other high-risk location with the bomber. How's the new autocannon sound effect? Well, now we get to see it when it's not 4 hard points, but just 2. So there might be actually a better way to compare the sound. The ship color is really slick for a change. Guys, I think my boss just burned me. Oh my gosh. Jeez, Michael. All right, I see how it is. That's fine. Woo! You can't do this to me. I went to college. All right, let's get this. Yeah.
What's up, Adam? Having trouble?
Yeah, that feels pretty nice.
Since you're already here.
All right, we're gonna just use the autocannon since we have like infinite energy on it because of our perks. And we just get to lock on and let the bomber just get free shots. I mean, shoot, I could actually just take shots myself too. Why wait? After all, it's got regenerating energy, right? Look at this. Look at these missiles just crush everything. Isn't that great? It's like, oh, we need to wait for our missile energy to regenerate. Okay, no big deal. We'll just fire and get some free ones in the meantime. And then we also have devices to use. Don't forget about those. Oh yeah, this is nice. Bomber with secondaries that now actually have modifiers. I think anybody who loved the bomber before these modifiers were added, you're gonna be in absolute heaven. You're gonna be in absolute heaven. That's for sure. All right, let's get this Viper down. Proto Scout even. I like how we don't even have to change. It's like, it's got shields, I don't care. We just fire infinite number of missiles. We left the armor drone for last. All right. Yeah, and remember, right now, like, I do not have a very high chance for critical hits. Boosting that up and getting this to trigger more often is just gonna be chef's kiss, right? All right, actually, let's do something a little bit more cheeky here. Let's use these rockets from their maximum range. Let's see, what is the maximum range here? Okay, it's 15, all right. And we're just gonna let this do its own work for us. I'll make sure we're gonna get the hits. Now remember, these are doing increased damage because I'm using them at greater range. That's pretty substantial for just rockets alone. And now we're gonna just pummel the dang guy. So using that at range, like something with a railgun, could seriously net you some benefits for a scout class or even a bomber that's being used at range as well. Like, you could get some really nice combinations, which is exactly the point of what we're aiming for on that front. Pretty thrilled. All right, so let me grab all this stuff, see what you guys are chatting about. And we will keep going from there. But yeah, with this bomber and the secondaries applied there, and looking up at my shields, armor, and hull being absolutely maxed out, I didn't even use my alt. Whoops, that would have been sexy. But we didn't even need to. Look at that. Feels good. All right, so we're gonna head back to Prescott. Whoa, actually, let's see if we got any, yeah. Got some more. I'm also gonna clear out some of this stuff. I'll hang on to these just in case individuals wanna know about the hot swapping. But rest assured, you can do this on the fly now. We'll talk about that again, probably soon-ish. And then I'm also just gonna clear out some stuff. Ooh. You can have that coil gun, Alec. Nice. We'll clear this out, clear that, and... Nope, we're gonna clear that out too. do a little self-organization because I like this line so I can talk about those details with you all. Anybody sneaking in a little bit later. And then we'll just put these right here. Awesome. Okay. High risk area. Is that a baby ARC 9000? Basically. So let's see what the discussion was going on. I see there was one about levels and level scaling. You know, I do want to say it's an interesting point. When I do see people talking about level scaling and what they don't like about level scaling, it's almost never in tandem with Everspace 2's level scaling. It's a bit ironic, actually, because people will come in and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing level scaling. It's like the worst thing in video games for all time. We actually kind of agree with that, but it's because level scaling in a lot of cases actually isn't implemented in a healthy degree or capacity regarding the player, where they're at and what they can accomplish. We seek to use level scaling not to make everything the same, but rather promote and encourage different locational challenges based on where you're at. So we'll see how that continues to develop because we're not completely done with the level scaling system. There are some things that are currently out of whack, of course, because it's early access, but rest assured, we are not using it to make all the levels exactly where you're at all time, all the enemies where you're at all the time, which basically means that anytime you get equipment, you're always under leveled, and that's dumb. That would be super dumb. We agree with you. If that's the starting point of your complaint, just know that that's not going to be the way that Everspace 2 shapes out, okay? That is not how it's going to be. In fact, just to carry this point home real briefly, I will also state that each one of these systems has a unique level bound to it. So for example, when you go back to Cedo in a late game situation, it's always going to be easier. Whenever you go to somewhere else, say Drake in a late game situation, it's always going to be harder, etc., etc., etc. But I digress, because I kind of opened a can of worms, but you guys have to understand the level scaling system what we're choosing. It's not just some super dummy implementation to make things all the same. That is not the point whatsoever. It is a handling of difficulty that we are utilizing it for. All right, so back to the game, back to the high-risk location. Destroying more things, autocannon sounds. Auto-firing missiles in a bomber. Really strong missiles. All right, thank you. We don't really have any ideal targets, but I'm just gonna use this anyway. That's fine. We're a little too far from them, but it's fine. Our combination of devices should finish these guys off. Oh man, he had like half a health left. That was silly. All right. Fireworks, that's all that matters. Oh my gosh. All right. I forgot to fire at the weak points. Oops. Excellent. Apparently I absorbed all those items really quick again. We have yet another sound effects bug when you're pulling in a bunch of items. I swear that one plagues us every single update. Ugh. All right, hopefully when we jump out it cancels the sound. Yeah, that sound loop bug again. Oh my gosh, so annoying. All right. Do some Bloodstar high-risk stones. Oh, that's actually a good point. We could, yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I'm glad you brought that up, Slorine Tetson. Whenever you're doing high-risk locations in the Kite Nebula, those are gonna be Redeemer high-risk locations. Whenever you're doing them in Cedo, depending on where they generate, like Deep Fields, Shattered Planetoid, and Hinterlands, they can be Bloodstar. So there's lots of different opportunities to mix and match what type of enemies that you're actually playing against, depending on where you're acquiring those high-risk locations and how you're using them. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go to Cedo. Let's do some Bloodstar stuff. Let's do some Bloodstar stuff. Remember early access launch when missiles legit didn't have lock-on? Okay, all right, okay. It was a long time ago. At least I want to say it is. Yeah, and missiles are way better than they were. Yeah, I think at the start, they basically, missiles could only do one thing, and that was damage. There's legitimately just the homing missiles. Were there even, I don't even think, no, Weber missiles didn't exist yet. None of, like, I think there were homing missiles and mines. I think that was it. Yeah, so that's changed considerably. All right, so let's go ahead and head to our home base. I want to mine Eshahar and see the millions of bits of Viridium floating to my ship with souls of the dead Okar inside of them. Herman Jones. Dude. Yikes.
Bypass travel. This could catch on.
Woo. Man, that is savage, dude. Whoa, fast travel? Uh-oh. Spoiler territory, but yes. Yes, absolutely. Now there is a designed campaign that you are moving through that does unlock certain companions over time and some locations over time for you to experience. As of right now, it's in fact a linear progression of locations that gets unlocked. That may or may not change in the future. So yeah. Let's also, we were gonna do something else. I think we need to get ourselves a Cedo decoder. So let's go ahead and find some locations floating about. Hopefully get some things. You like the tech progression so far? I was just reading recently on the forums, because we're always on the forums, by the way, like always, so you guys are aware. Was reading on the forums some people talking about fast travel being unlocked too late, stuff of that nature. Because like we're constantly looking at those things. We're trying to evaluate the natural progression of these spaces that are granted to you guys. We're not done with how that all works. We are not done with how that all works. So yeah. We got a couple of tricks up our sleeves is basically what I'm saying. Gosh dang, I love the sound of that autocannon. I really enjoy that. There we go.
We're safe, thanks a million.
Now, if I recall correctly, oh yeah, we haven't finished all these. We just got a distress call, so we'll mark that. We need to complete 2 more distress calls. And hopefully we'll start getting some Cedo decoders. We could also take some jobs, but you know, for the moment, we're not too worried about that stuff. Oh, I did see, however, we can upgrade Alex perk again for those EMP missiles that we just got. Nice. And we'll fly over to Bloodstar regions, which are going to be over here again. They do generate at random locations while you're in their regions. Drake does seem to be in an odd place for a linear progression. Ah, yes. This is the truth. Are we? Oh, yeah, we're in the deep fields. All right, cool. Maddox hates everyone that isn't Maddox. Man, he's just a grumpy old man. Let me tell you what. He is just a grumpy old man. He just wants his money. He's been waiting for over 15 years. Oh. We gotta be careful. There is an anti-missile drone. So I'm gonna swap to my not auto-firing secondary so I don't instantly kill myself. And look, we got some Bloodstar showing up for this combat. But also, where's that, let's see. Nope, I guess we maybe got it.
You have Redeemers incoming.
Oh, great.
These guys grows with every encounter.
Redeemers with
will die now for all your acts of violation against the sacred warden.
Jeez, calm down. Can't you tone it down just a little bit?
not every day you get to see Redeemers and Bloodstar actually fighting one another. Bloodstar here? Ooh! Ooh, a decimator. It's just I do like that sound. Yeah, we're gonna keep using pulse laser for now. Okay, Doomer. Yeah, basically. All right, let's clear out the rest of... actually, we could keep going. I think we're gonna go ahead and, man, as much as I like the standard autocannon we've got going on, specifically because of the sound effect, we are gonna go ahead and swap for now. And we're gonna see if we can find some more Bloodstar. Now we're gonna be generating more of that loot, so that's gonna be good. Missiles getting intercepted right out of the tube hurt. Yes, we do recognize that it is painful. We also recognize that it should be the player's responsibility to see what's happening to them when they're trying to use a certain playstyle or ability. Granted, it should not instantly kill them. There's a reason why the health bar exists, and it's so that when it starts taking damage, you can respond accordingly. If you instantly die, that's a problem. We recognize it, and we will make adjustments accordingly. All right. So let's keep flying around here, get some more Bloodstar going on. Redeemers are easy compared to Bloodstar. Not everyone agrees with you, Bearded Frog. They each have their own unique challenges, I would say. There are some individuals, like especially if you're using a more focus-fired build, Redeemers can sometimes be more punishing simply because of how fast they are. They're much more zippy than the Outlaws themselves. Bloodstar, I mean, in a lot of cases, Bloodstar just kind of hang out and let you shoot them from afar, right? Because they also are trying to stay from afar. But yeah, I mean, some people are going to think that Redeemers are way easier. Some people are going to think the Bloodstar are way easier. Depends on your playstyle, honestly. It really comes down to the playstyle. Man, that lock-on is so fast.
Adam, I'm here to help.
Nice to have some company.
One more. Beautiful. Actually, let's see what these armor breaker missiles got on them. Oh, that could be... That, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Auto firing. Last 3 missiles do 200% damage. Lock decrease by 80%. Oh my goodness. Let's just let's just plop those in there, shall we? That is a missile. Let me tell you what. It does require dropping the opponent's shield, but when no shields are present, this thing is mean. All right. Ooh, a drone carrier. Let's clear up these guys over here first, and then we'll head over to that front. I thought that was a drone?
Thanks for having me, Adam. Toodles.
Woo, all right. Did he just say toodles? That's my light. Stop it. Yeah, I just didn't want to deal with them. All right, who's fired at me? A prospector, of course. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And a demolisher. We'll just cancel him. Woo! That's a lot of stuff. All right. Delicious. I need to stop picking up stuff. I'm so excited. I want to get it all. I don't have any room. I've got that in just a second. I keep doing that. I'm so excited for my loot. All right, another prospector. Look at all of these Bloodstar. This is what we wanted. I'm really curious if we have found a Signal Decoder yet. So if you maintain your pool at 0 energy, all your missiles are gonna have 200% plus the one that auto fires? Yes, that is theoretically what we would like the possibility to be done. Theoretically. I said that in a funny way. We want that to be possible, yes. So if you're just like spamming your missiles and you keep your energy super low, you should be able to continue getting that. But also remember that in the bomber, when you're keeping your missiles low like that, they're not recharging super fast. So you're only gonna be able to shoot the missile like once every 4, maybe 5 seconds, maybe even longer than that, depending on how you've kind of put everything together. Now, speaking of putting everything together, I'm just gonna like delete some stuff. Normally, I would not recommend doing this. I say that all the time during these streams, so you know exactly what I'm doing. I just wanna get back into streaming. I wanna get back into doing stuff. While checking to see if there's, we'll hang on to that. While checking to see if there's other opportunities afoot. Ooh. Ooh. Upgrade. I'm gonna destroy this ramen. Man, I felt like I hurt somebody. All right, let's bring these back up. We can collect some of the other stuff that was in the area. Can you please do a race gate entirely in first person view mode only? I want to see you do this challenge in this bomber. Why? Why is it that you guys want to punish me during the course of these live streams? Oh, wow. This is a decimator. This is a decimator. Do you notice something different? So, guess what? Weapons, even the same ones, can have different sound effects. This is a decimator just like the one we had before, except it sounds a little different. That's right! You can have different sounds on the same weapons. At least currently, that might be a bug, I'm not sure. But regardless, we are reworking a lot of sounds for the weapons overall. So for any of you who missed it, this is the new sound for the autocannon. And this is a new sound for the decimator. So new sounds for weapons overall getting added to the game. All right, so I'm gonna pop that back on. We're gonna keep that, and we are going to see if we can find some more Bloodstar. Wasn't there another container? There is! It's on my markers. Good. Whoa! Okay. See, look at my terrible control of the bomber, and people are like, go race in it in first person. Goodness gravy. You asked me to beatbox, and I'm doing that at the end of the stream. Isn't that enough? All right, let's see. We want to go back over there, actually. Back this way. Hopefully find some more distress calls. Keep destroying things. Maybe find some new sounds to show. How do I recognize a weapon by its sound effects, though? Or is it just a slight pitch change? I mean, it depends on... How do I recognize a weapon by its sound effects? I mean, I legitimately, I bet you I could choose, like, the veterans of Everspace 2. If you strap them to a chair, blindfolded them, put headphones on, and then fired a random weapon, I bet you they could go, that's a pulse laser. That's a beam laser. That's a decimator. That's a disintegrator. That's a flak. Like, I guarantee you they could. Guarantee. We very much want our, and that's by design, because we very much want our sound effects to represent each of the different weapons. We want you to be able to recognize it immediately. So with these changes, with these updates to them, you're gonna notice, like, in some cases, like, it's just we've got a bigger base with these autocannons, right? Unless it's a pulse laser or Jaeger coil gun, equalizer, or prime zapper. Okay, Spoot Knight, you knock it off you. But still, we are making more adjustments. And when I say we, I mean Gayro. Gayro's making a lot more changes across the board. I'm not sure if that's actually public, but hey, I'm telling you now. So there's gonna be sound design changes for a lot of weapons. So the plan of attack is to just make them feel meatier, make them feel more like how they're being utilized. You know, we're pretty happy with the standard pulse laser sound, right? Like, this is a synchro pulse, of course, but like, it sounds very energy based. It's got some nice depth to it. Like, you know you're firing it when you're firing it, and we wanted to have that, just that meatier approach. I keep using meaty, maybe I'm hungry, I'm not sure. But we wanted that with our kinetic weaponry as well. And we want that to really bring that sound effect home to capitalize on your beautiful, wonderful ears that you have. I'm probably making Kazaa really upset with how inefficient my usage of the Arc 9000 is. Sorry about that. But hey, it looks cool. That's for sure. Have I still not found a Cedo signal? Oh my gosh. You know what we need to do is we need to find a base. That's what we need to do. Oh, there's a couple elites though. Here, let's just head in that direction. Really? Really, Webbers? And there's an armor drone nearby? Are you kidding me? All right. Okay. All right, good. I just want to go for the elites because they could legitimately give us the goods that we desire. None. Let's head in the direction of this other outlaw scout. All right. Signal Decoder, yes! Yes! Let's get out of here. That's what we were looking for. All right. It's almost like they don't like you, Eric. Probably. All right. So, wait. What area are we in? We're in the deep fields. Perfect. So, whenever you activate a signal decoder, for gamification purposes, since we know that certain people are going to want to find certain things when they're using high-risk locations, is that when you activate a signal decoder, it opens up that high-risk location in the region you're at. So when we use this, when we go to our map, you will see that it is within the deep fields. Little bit of gamification in your favor. So you can pick and choose, once you have the system, you can pick and choose where that high-risk location is going to generate. All right, so here we go. Oh, we got a good spot for our rockets. Let's just, let's do that first. Oh, actually, let's take out this armor drone first. All right.
Here comes the Alec.
Hey there. Good for you. Shoot us something.
Ow, that's a lot of damage. I don't like the webbing. Good, good. Glad they got got. Let's just back up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Create some chaos. There we go. That's much better. Much better. Woo!
Down one.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to web him in place. I missed. All right, we'll take it. Nice. And again, the armored drones left over. Wow.
No baddies? Then I'm out.
One more Proto Scout. There we go. Webbing mines into rockets. That feels good. Kind of missed my shots there, but oh well. We'll focus fire him down anyway.
Not alone anymore.
There we go. Man.
I get to live to fight again.
We got the sound bug again. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so yeah. Overall, secondary effects, Bomber, they're pretty good friends. They are pretty good friends. We're gonna destroy all these things. Ignore the fact that there's a sound bug again. Isn't game development fun? Oh my goodness. We'll pick up our credits and we'll bounce out. It stopped. I'm not sure if I should be concerned. Oh my gosh. Anywho. Let's see. We have not been using our nanobots at all because we haven't had a need for them. No big deal. All right. The Vindicator should have the ability to spawn armor drones so I can annoy everyone as they annoy me with their armor drones. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I will mention that we have had a conversation during the course of these live streams in the past. Individuals talking about the Vindicator. There was this request about customizing drones. No, okay, hang on a second. Whoa, I know that several people just perked up like, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna be a thing? No, I want to just cut, no, I'm cutting to the chase. You're not gonna be able to customize drones, okay? I do, however, want to bring up the fact that, you know, it can have multiple drones out, right? It can have 5 or 6 with a passive. And there might be room there for some level of addition in the future. You know, just throwing it out there for all you Vindicator lovers. I doubt you'll be able to just bulk up with absurd levels of like armor droning. That would be nuts. But rest assured, we are recognizing the desires of the community. We're looking at some of the things that we have made possible at this point in time, and we want to make more, right? I don't like how it has disabled the target's shield, but I love how it's powerful. Unfortunate combination. Unfortunate combination. We're gonna have to scrap it. Let's see if the coil gun sounds different. Why not? And also the Gauss cannon. I don't know what's been changed or not. At this point, I'm finding fun stuff out. All I knew is the autocannon was. Finns, I'm surprised you're asking this question because we've answered it a lot. The question is, will there be any kind of new game plus mode and or features? No, there's no plans. There's no plans to have a new game plus mode. In short, we would have to completely change the operating capacity of how the storyline is distributed. And we're just not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that, nope. But I can also assure you guys, if you're like, oh man, but I wanted so much more out of the game. Guys, you haven't experienced endgame yet. We still have to make endgame. So once the story is done, that's when the game just completely opens up into so much more. So if you're only dedicated to the story, we are shooting for a 20 to 30 hour experience with the story, the campaign alone. Okay? So if you're just doing the story, that's what you're going to get from the game. But then if you're actually going through side missions and you're completing all these tasks and the challenges, and then you're also experiencing the in-game state using these ancient rifts that we have discussed multiple times, as well as a slew of other in-game features, I think that you're going to be rather pleased with how much more you're going to get from the game when you just keep playing, as opposed to starting over the whole dang thing, having everything re-locked from you, just being able to plow through the campaign once again. It's just not in our interest, and we're not going to do it, okay? If you're upset by us, by making that decision, I'm sorry. That's just what we are doing. That's our direction for development. We want to focus on end game, not adjusting the entire story count so it satisfies a new game plus that would then get to the exact same in-game state as it would be from the first time playing. So there you go. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and knock out some more of this stuffs, because I'm holding, you know what, maybe let's just go, we're at an unknown signal. How close are we to the base? We'll head over here. We're gonna bounce from this unknown signal. We're gonna head to a base. We're gonna just sell stuff because it's easier. Different drones would be dope. Vindicator is a bit underwhelming, in my opinion. I agree. I agree. I think several of our team members also agree with me. There's several ships that can be a little underwhelming at this point in time. And future content will help satisfy that. Also, future balancing will help satisfy those territories. I can't speak on behalf of every single player ship, but I mean, we do recognize stuff like Vanguard's ult is underwhelming. You know, stuff like that. We absolutely recognize that.
Hello?
All right.
Anyone home?
Huh? Who are you?
I was just passing through, hoping for some quick repairs and maybe some provisions.
You don't happen to be from the Union system, do you?
No, I'm from here.
But you must know someone in Union, right? You are a freelancer. You have a network.
Calm down, okay? Just tell me what's wrong.
I've been trying to contact our sister station at the Gauntlet. Something's off. I can't reach them.
I'm actually heading that way. You want me to check on them?
Yes, definitely. They were onto some very important research. Vital in so many ways you wouldn't understand. Here are the coordinates. Let me know once you get there.
All right. But first, let me take care of my ship.
Of course.
Okay, so I also see, Finns, you're asking for a specific reason. Okay, that's fine. You're saying you're gonna ask again a few months later. I'm gonna tell you straight up, our position doesn't just change when time passes. It's maybe a bit of a crude example, but like if my daughter were to ask me, hey, can we please watch Frozen tonight? And I say no, and then she asks 5 minutes later, the answer doesn't change. So just keep that in mind. If you ask about New Game Plus again in the future, the answer is not gonna change. That's our stance. We are not adding a New Game Plus feature. There's no plans. That's just how it is, all right? No need to ask again. Thank you very much. All right, so now we got this mission that we should have received like a friggin' long time ago. And we'll be able to go to Union to satisfy that. It's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun little territory to go. Same for VR support. Yeah, absolutely, Geekbyte. Yeah, when people are like, so are you planning on changing your views on VR support? No, we're not. Absolutely not. We have made a stance. We said this is what we're doing, and that's what we're going to do. In fact, most stances that we make, whenever we say this is what we're doing, that's actually what we're doing. I know that sometimes people can translate that to, oh, well, they don't mean that, but that's not how this works. That's not how it works at all. When we say this is what we're doing, that's actually what we're doing. Yeah, I hope you respect that. Even if it's not something that you want or desire the answer for, we can still, agree to disagree. I'm just making sure you guys know what our vision is and the direction that we're taking it. All right? That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. That's why we do the stream, so we can communicate these things, right? Multiplayer, all right, Shadowy, all right. Am I flipping the table? You guys. Goodness gravy. All right, so let's go ahead and dump our cargo. We want to hang on to a couple things, I suppose, but we want to mostly dump our cargo. Let's go to the shop, actually, so we can do this more appropriately. Some of you guys, oh my goodness. Oh, we want to hang on to those. Nope. So I do want to point out something. I don't know if you can all see it or not, but I do want to point out I have almost 300 rockets because of the bug here. Again, that's not going to be something you see. I have 291 rockets out of 200. That's because it has a chance to refund ammo every time it's firing, and in the bomber, you're not spending ammo. So it's basically I've earned 29 refunds by using rockets. That's broken. So don't get your hopes up. That will be fixed before it's even delivered. We want to keep the decimator. And we'll get... Ooh. Now we're going to hang on to what we have. Tempting, but no. All right, and then we're just going to sell all. There we go. We already have that. Nice. Plush Ancient Warden win is what I see when I look over at chat. What happened? Oh, goodness. Gregory Martinez talking about the Vanguard's alt, change it more like Everspace 1. Yeah, I mean, we definitely want to make it a more useful alt, so there will very likely be some sort of addition or change that happens to it. I'm just straight up admitting that right now. We just don't have a focus on it at this time because with the next update with Summer, so you guys are aware, like our focal point, what we are doing at this time is working on the Drake system, as well as the new factions that are coming with the Drake system. And I did say that plural, factions. So there's gonna be a lot that's brought with that as well, including but limited to other encompassing elements that the game has to offer. And I just want to casually hover over this Bloodstar Decimator because I enjoy looking at it. There's nothing, I said nothing whatsoever, but just, looking at this, I think it's pretty. That's all I'm doing there. So we have a big focal point on adding content right now. That's the big thing. So with the spring update, there was a lot of overhauling, right? A lot of backend systems were addressed, like crafting. So you have this entire dedicated crafting tab, for example, which is still getting more additions to it. Blah. There's more catalysts still in the works. We've told you guys that. I mean, all the resource stuff has been modified. In fact, we've even had internal conversations to make it even easier to get the information like this that's right below my microphone, like more information like that added to your map earlier, since getting Kala to give you that information, it's a bit late in the game, and frankly speaking, you want to know what's where when you're finding it. And yeah, so I mean there's more on this front coming, more tweaks, elements like that. We are dedicated to making sure it's all in the works. But right now, again, our focal point is adding content. So it's going to be those really super slick water worlds, the lava planets, the factions that I mentioned. There's more story content on that front as well, and everything in between, which moves you through that space that is Drake. So yeah, And of course, once we have more content, then that means more balancing passes, more feedback improvements, blah, 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 blah. It's just, you know, we have to go back and forth, add content, modify content, add content, modify content. It's the same reason why we really want to do mod support, but we are hanging on to that to be like a last thing we do if we end up going that direction, because we don't want to add mod support when not all the content is there yet. So hopefully we get to mod support, which is either going to be, you know, it would be really close to a 1.0 or even later than that. But again, I do want to let you guys know that while there aren't currently plans of implementing this, it's very much something that we do desire. Just throwing it out there for anybody who hasn't heard our position on mod support. It would be amazing. We're just not doing anything with it right at this time. All right. Okay, lots of information. I don't even know how I got on that tangent. All I know is that I want to destroy stuff. We sold a bunch of things, so now it's time to go Bloodstar. Yeah. So we need to get over to the west regions. West. Is there a west in space? I don't know. But we need to go, let's just pin this outlaw outpost and we can go in that direction. Excuse me, Star. I need more distress calls, please. All right, we're in the deep field, so we can activate the... Oh, that's Union! Ugh. All right, well, we'll look for some distress calls then. The Drake system or bust, yeah. How much storage space is Everspace 2 going to take when it's finished in 2023, and how much does it take up in the current state? I would have to go look really quick. I don't even know. Let me just poke real quickly and see if I can get a quick estimate. $28 gigs about right as of right now. That number will probably sneak up a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, obviously we want it to be smaller, right? So, yeah. I don't necessarily know what it's gonna look like whenever we're done with everything. Michael says, we try to stay under 75 gigs for 1.0, fingers crossed. Honestly, I think I would be surprised if we somehow even got close to 75, just based on the conversations that I've had internally. Because I know that, you know, for a lot of gamers, I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot. So, yeah, well, we're doing our best to make sure that we're not going super crazy with the requirements of your PC or console whenever we get there. Looks like neither of these weapons have new sound effects. Therefore, I don't like them. Unfortunate. We were looking for... Ooh, Bloodstart. We're still looking for more decoders. No, come back! No! Come back! Oh, I should have webbed him. That would have been smart. All right. swap back to our cool sounding weapons. One more elite for an opportunity at a signal drop. Nada. All right. Let's get out of here and find something else. So for anybody who's wondering, like, well, why am I only killing elites and bouncing around and stuff like that? Can't you get signal decoders from just anywhere? No, you actually can't. We, in our latest update, we changed it to where signal decoders only drop from elites and specific bases, as well as certain containers. But the main way to get them is really from elites and from bases. And then I guess also the last one is from a high-risk area itself, you also have a chance the boss can drop one, so it just kind of like recycles itself. The max level is currently planned to be level 30, yes. Yeah, and there will be adjustments on that front to make it more fluid in its progression. You've seen, well, at least you probably have seen, that there have been some balancing changes on that front. And the distribution of resource experience. So there's more on that front coming for sure. But all in all, yeah, at this time, level 30 is planned for the 1.0 release. And the fact that we have free DLC lined up for after the game is launched, there may or may not be room for what that looks like in its growth from a player level perspective or some type of additional experience system. I will fully admit that we haven't gotten to those points yet. We have not. Those in-game systems will be designed a little bit later once more of the dedicated systems and foundation have been laid out. That's just how development goes. And then once we get there, we'll determine those courses of action at that time. And if you guys are already thinking on that front of like what that could look like, that's great. You should definitely go to the forums and leave some feedback, but also keep in mind that our end game discussions are mostly going to pop up for the fall, because that's when our in-game Ancient Rifts discussions will be opening up the doors, and you're gonna get a slice of what in-game is going to look like from there. So yeah, absolutely. Horse armor? Oh gosh. Why would we put horses in the game? No, no, no. But I will tell you that for a limited time, you can actually get this super unique Okar armor set for $12.99. No, we're not. No, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I know somebody out there was like, oh, but the Okar looks so cool. It'd be really stinking awesome to have some sort of component that was Okar based that I could apply to my ship. Huh. Let's destroy this Bloodstar Overseer. Ah! Everything's fine. Calm down, everyone. Wow, he got freaking wrecked and that felt good. Hey, let's go ahead and look at this nano plating and just look at it very briefly. Precision utility, we could definitely use more precision. So let's go ahead and just hot swap that right now. Look at how the armor didn't change whatsoever. Oh my gosh, hot swapping armor. It's like that's in the name of the title. Yeah, you can do that on the fly. Now we have the benefits of this new one to get more precise shots. Could help us out. I don't know, maybe. We're kind of struggling here. Mostly because I keep forgetting to use my ultimate. That's on me. Woo! Actually, yeah, let's go to this prospector. There we go. One more prospector to go. Decimator, always useful. But no more elites, we gotta bounce out again. Gosh, our quest for more continues. We also have about 12 minutes left in the stream, so I know that I've been teasing you guys a little bit, because, you know, that's what I do on these streams, obviously. We're showing you new content, I'm hinting at stuff that's to come, but also note that we are also answering questions, and I keep looking over at the chat, and I'm not really seeing too many. If you guys do have questions with the current state of the game, stuff like that, by all means, ask them. Now, if you're asking for me to reveal future content, know that that's gonna get slammed down pretty hard. I may or may not make fun of you in some way or capacity, just because that's sometimes how I play off those things. But otherwise, yeah. You know, I just had a thought. Anti-missile drones are my #1 bane, but drones don't bother mines. That is correct. Mines can be used very effectively. In fact, I would argue on some fronts, that if you can find a pretty high damage, ooh, a distress call! Nice! If you can find a high damage, superior corrosion mine, they can be rather effective. Rather lethal. In a way, they can be used as kind of like a splash damagey, because they hit multiple enemies, right? Like, they can be used as kind of like your splash damage effect, and you don't even have to have a lot of utility. You don't have to focus on your devices. You just straight up focus on firepower, and I know somebody out there has done a high damage corrosion mine build. It's very effective. At least on my part, from what I've experienced, it certainly has been. Ah, got him! Good old Hive. All right, where's that other? There you are. Now, I really want to use the ARC 9000, but I don't want to destroy the people I'm trying to help. Are they, well, I guess they're, all right, that's fine. Let's just, bloop. Ooh, ooh. Pro tip, don't be too close to your own ARC 9000 explosion. It hurts. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad. There we go. Man! Can I please have, there it is. Oh my gosh, huzzah, we found it, the Signal Decoder. About stinking time. Oh my goodness. But let's go ahead and protect these guys to mark off one more bit of our distress call.
All right, that was fun. Gotta go now.
All right, see you later, Alec. Okay, all the enemies are gone.
Thanks a million.
Thank you, you're welcome. It's my pleasure, truly. All right. That was a powerful synchro boost. Yeah, I know, we're gonna check it out right now. So what do we got? Hmm. 2% chance for each hit to deal corrosion damage. Not so good. Cannot be damaged. I'd argue not so good either. 20% increased damage if your ship is exposed to sunlight. Pretty dang good, actually, because you're basically exposed to sunlight the entire game unless you're behind like an asteroid. Or in a cave. I think I'm gonna keep what I have. I think I'm keeping what I have. Unfortunate roll, but you know, such as the grind for greater. Ooh. Ooh. All right. I just want to use it. Let's see, firepower, handling, let's do it. I want more firepower. Yeah, we're just kind of changing some things around a little bit. Structure, resistance, expertise, or precision utility. I think we want to need more precision, so we're gonna keep what we got. I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm almost done, I promise. It's just a lot. There's a lot getting picked up. I mean, we're trying to find more Bloodstar stuff, but we're gonna hang on to that. All right. Let's get back to it. All right. Oh, we also need to, wait. Did we trigger it already? We got a Cedo Signal Decoder, I thought. Am I crazy? Oh, there it is. Ha! Woo! All right. There we go. There we go. Much better. Oh, I triggered it in the wrong location. Oh gosh, everything's terrible. When is the beatboxing? Oh my goodness. We'll get to it at the very end of the game. Question, what is that corrosion damage based off of? Energy or kinetic? It's based off of kinetic. That's a great question. That's a great question. And it probably needs a little bit more clarity, honestly. So we'll keep that in mind. If you used a catalyst, can you remove it to reuse? Yes, you can. You can only have one catalyst on an item at a time, but yes. Oh, if you mean like if you use a different catalyst on an item, can you take the catalyst that was off of it and have that to use again? No. When you use a catalyst, it is consumed in that process and applies itself to that item. If you use a second catalyst on the same item, it replaces the benefit that was given through that prior catalyst. There we go. Whew. All right, let me just do a quick check. Everspace 1, if you are close to a big ship exploding, it pushes as the blast happens. Will that be implemented in Everspace 2? Does it not work in Everspace 2? I thought it did. Now I'm suddenly curious and I need to do this testing. I felt like it should be happening, but maybe I haven't rightfully experienced it. I feel like in the Striker, well, I mean, I'm boosting all the time, so it almost doesn't matter. But no, I think that there's a plan of attack there. Anyway. Jameson Madrago. Yeah, and regarding, you're talking about like the attributes in the current game system, you're actually spot on. Rest assured, we do have more plans for individuals who go the direction of a structure resistance way. And expertise, honestly, I would say expertise is actually a really good one to have as of right now, depending on which ship you're flying to. Because like with the Stinger, you can have expertise basically double the amount of time your third hardpoint's up, and with certain devices, you never have to not be firing your third hardpoint. So it just depends on the build on expertise, which is honestly how we want every single attribute to work. We want your attribute to be, like the amount you put into it to be dictated on the build that you're choosing to play. And as of right now, there isn't an incentive in particular for structure and resistance builds. There are some attempts that we have made at that point, but the addition of more systems, the addition of more modifiers, the additions of more stuff is going to bring that to fruition. So I can only ask for your patience on that front, because you make a strong observation that we also agree with. For sure. For sure. All right. So let's go ahead and take out this high-risk location. Woo! missed. No, come back. Well, that's not fun. All right, there we go. All right, we'll use it. It's fine. Not best use, but it's fine. Oh, I missed! Ah! I use my Weber. Make that shot a lot easier. There we go. All right, there we go. Wait, I have an idea. Nope, that didn't fix the sound issue. All right, it's fine. Just a quick reminder that what you are seeing and hearing in these live streams is always just the latest development build, the latest and sometimes greatest and sometimes most bug-ridden filth you've ever seen. And you're gonna see little hiccups here and there during the course of these live streams just because of that fact. But rest assured, if you hear or see something that's incredibly wonky, it's because these are not stable builds. That's why we don't push them to you guys, because they're just not ready to be live. And rest assured, we rewatch these videos, we see the issues that transpire, and we want to make sure that it's in the right place for when you're gonna be able to play as well. I'm gonna do a really dumb thing. Oh, never mind. I thought I had an ARC 9000. I was gonna shoot it right there, but I did not. There we go. Wonderful. All right, that's pretty satisfying. We got the marksman blueprint. Oh my gosh, that'll be really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll finish these guys off. That's fine. And then shortly after this, I'll say my goodbyes because I gotta leave. Actually, I need to leave right now, honestly. So we are gonna go ahead and save right here, right now. And yeah. So we're gonna get that sound. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get that sound as I'm saying goodbye. That's so freaking annoying. Here, let's hopefully eradicate the sound just so we can depart on good terms. So guys, obviously I was showing a lot of content today. There's a lot that we talk about every single stream, and there's a lot of questions that we end up answering and some that we miss. If I happen to miss your question, it's not because I don't like you and think it wasn't worth answering. It's because I legitimately missed it because I'm trying to show off stuff, and you know, there's a lot of things that happen. Big shout out to the CEO of Rockfish Games, Michael, for also hanging out in the chat to answer those questions directly for you, should I have missed it. Still though, if it still didn't get answered, you can always head on over to the Discord, that first link that's going away. Oh no, it's leaving. Discord.gg/rockfishgames. There's an Ask Dev question channel that you can rightly go there. It's great fun times, do it. It's the best thing forever. Also, there's all these other places that you can go to hang out with us and get wonderful information whenever we're dropping as soon as possible. And yeah, I think that's the big meat of it. Yeah, you guys have honestly been awesome today with all your questions, with your observations. There's going to be even more next week, per usual. So I've been Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for Rockfish Games. Don't stop being awesome, and we'll catch you next week with more stuff. All right, toodles! Okay, you asked for it, so here we go.
Now it's time for the Rockfish.
There you go. There's your awful B-Box, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. Oh, I think we're also gonna go raid somebody this time. Shuzan, thank for setting that up. I think we're going over to Corbin. So go give him some love. All right, take care.